Hey, welcome to Walking the Path. So, okay, you ever have those days where it feels like you just keep bumping into furniture, or you're stubbing your toe, like you just like, oh, toe, ow, oh, oh, ah. That's not being in alignment, right? that's this. That's the physical equivalent of the spiritual. I'm not in alignment, out of alignment. Today, I want to talk to you about alignment. Today, I want to talk to you about ease and grace and flow. And the experience of bumping into furniture and stubbing your toe, that's not bad. Nothing wrong with that. It's just some information, right? And I'm here at Rythmia. Oh man, what a great day at Rythmia this has been. We have, first of all, an amazing group. Giovanni Bartolomeo is the guest speaker this week, which is awesome. By the way, shameless plug, I'm going to be the guest speaker at Rythmia March 8th. This year in a few weeks. Oh man, I'm so excited. So if you're thinking of coming to Rythmia, come March 8th. It'll be really fun. But just come to Rythmia no matter what, because this is the place where alignment happens. This is the place where we come into alignment with the truth of who we are. And we remember, recollect. We call it a merger at Rythmia, where we come back together, we lay down the arms, stop the inner civil war, and reunite ourselves with ourselves. That's a powerful thing. That's alignment. So I hope to see you at Rythmia. Come see us. Now, back to our talk today. You know, alignment happens. When does alignment happen? Alignment happens when we listen. Alignment isn't something that we can force. So much of what I have been doing in the past of my life is trying to make something happen, trying to assert order. You know, like I need to create order. I need to create divine order. I need to bring divine order in my life. I need to order things, right? Oh, thank you, Dorota. This is a beautiful comment. Thank you, Dorota. For so long, I felt like I needed to bring order. But the truth is, I don't need to create order. Order exists. Divine order exists. It exists already. The planet is spinning right now without human compulsion. There's all sorts of amazing systems in my body that are naturally harmonizing. You know, one of the things that is true about the body is that the body is constantly seeking homeostasis. It's constantly seeking balance and order and harmony. But that balance and order and harmony in the body is not a fixed place. It's not like, oh, there's balance. Balance is dynamic. The body is, homeostasis is dynamic. There's never one thing. It's called adaptogens, right? Our body is adaptogenetic. Adaptogen. I'll take it. If I invented a word, adaptogenetic. That's my new word. Maybe it exists. Maybe I'm aligning with it. I don't know. Now, in the same way that the body is constantly balancing, the universe is constantly balancing. There are these beautiful sculptures called Colder mobiles. The artist is, I can't remember his first name, last name is Colder. One of these giant sculptures is hanging in the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. And it's called the Colder Tower. It is a huge mobile, like those little things above the baby crib, right? Ding, 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 the little music is playing. But those are all symmetrical. The Colder mobiles are non-symmetrical. You know, they're these just huge constructions. One might have a big arm might go out one way and a big ball over here, and they're all kind of funky. And when you touch one part, the whole thing like moves and balances. It's this dynamic movement, and it's not symmetrical. I think we mistake symmetry for balance. And are we doing that in our lives? Are we doing that in our spiritual life, right? That our spiritual life, right, is not fixed. It's in constant dynamic movement. And our purpose is to find that dynamic center, right? Now, there's a lot of philosophy that goes with this as well. I'm thinking of Carl Jung and Jungian teaching of the shadow, right? Is that we have our self and our not self. The shadow is the not self, and the not self is what we've been exiling. What we want to do is hold the worst in us the not self, the things we don't like, the things we don't want anybody to know about, and the best in us, the self, all the good things. We want to hold both of those in the same consciousness. Holding that, there's a tension. And what I tend to do is I want to collapse and figure out, either I'll collapse all, oh no, I just want to be my good self, I don't want to be my bad self. Or if I want to find the middle, I got to figure it out, right? I'm holding these two, and okay, the tension is uncomfortable. So what's the synthesis? But the synthesis emerges in holding the tension in a way that I couldn't have figured out. My job to be in alignment is to hold those polar opposites in my awareness and wait and listen. And a third way emerges. The synthesis emerges. This is the center, and it's dynamic. And so once I find that, it's not just a fixed place and, oh, everything's perfect. No, because life happens. Things move. Environmental, circumstantial, spiritual, energetic, all sorts of stuff is happening. And I'm constantly, like a Colder-mobile, balancing, finding my spot. Alignment is not symmetry. Balance is not perfect, or is not symmetrical, but it is dynamic and it is harmonious. It's harmonizing, but it's not symmetrical. We mistake harmony and balance and symmetry, right? Symmetry is not balance. Can be, but balance is really this harmonizing of everything. Everything belongs. Everything belongs. Everything in me belongs. Being in alignment, if I'm going to be in alignment, I first have to align with me. I have to realize that everything in me belongs. Even the worst in me belongs. I've got to accept that. For the longest time, I thought shadow work meant bringing the worst in so I could change it because I don't want it. No, it's bringing the worst in and letting it be there, no longer exiling it. Once I can do that, when I can hold that, the worst in me and the best in me in the same energetic container, and allow that tension to be in the tension, to be present to all of it, everything belongs, nothing's excluded, then the harmonization of those oppositions emerges. That's shadow work. And I'd like to apply that. I'd like to extend that out into the world. Because if everything belongs in me, then everything belongs in the world. You know what I mean? That's a hard one. Everything belongs in the world. Everything serves in the world, even the worst of the world. What we think is the worst, right? Because somebody on the opposite side might be thinking the other side is the worst. Whatever it is, it belongs. Everything belongs. And so now let's take that. Let's look at the political environment or the geoglobal environment, right? Does that mean I just go, oh, everything belongs, it's fine? No. On the material world, there's a way that I want to interact with life. I might want to stand up for injustice. I might want to exercise my right to vote or to protest or to free speech. I might exercise my right to establish community, to organize events that are focused on harmony and order and balance. Whatever it is, I might want to do that. But for me, so I'm not saying inaction, but that action that we want to take in the world must be inspired. It must come from a place of inspiration, not from a place of fixing or changing or proving. And yes, so if everything belongs in the world, now when I'm listening to the news, when I'm reading stuff, when I'm hearing what's going on in the world, I've got to hold in my heart that everything belongs. I've got to hold the tension of what's happening that I don't like and what's happening that I do like or what I'd like to happen. I got to hold that tension. And if I can hold it, the correct course of action reveals itself. The correct course of action is the middle way. It is the synthesis of the opposition. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. This is, I believe, Hegel. If I'm remembering my classical philosophy class, welcome to Hegelian philosophy with John Jacob. Welcome. Now, so this is what I've been thinking about this week. This is what's been alive for me, is that when we find that dynamic balance, then creation occurs. I don't have to make anything happen. I don't have to go force anything. I don't have to figure out anything. It's stuff aligns. This is what we call unexpected good, unexpected kindness, unexpected love, unexpected money, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and in your life and the life of others. This is when life starts to just shower us with unexpected good of all manner. Things that, things are happening to me these last weeks that, like, I really would like that to happen. And then I think, maybe I need to send a text. Maybe I need to send an email. Maybe I should reach out. And then guess what? They reach out to me. That's how it happens when we're in alignment. Alignment, creativity, creation comes from alignment, not force, comes from alignment, not pressure, comes from alignment, not thinking, right? It comes from an inner alignment that has to have a component of trust and knowing, right? We build, this is a teaching from a good friend of mine in a private class that I was taking, and it's safety, trust, surrender. Like I can't surrender to someone or to a situation until I can trust. And I can't trust until I feel safe. So the first piece of this diving into alignment is to learn to feel safe. And how do we start to feel safe? It's by thinking about your life. Where in your life has alignment occurred? Where in your life have you been in flow? Where in your life have you been in the zone? When you're in the zone, when you're in flow, stuff's happening, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's alignment, flow, zone. We're in this dynamic, energetic container, and things are in alignment and they're flowing. When that's happening, everything's occurring. So where in your life have you had that experience before? You've had it. I know everybody's had it. Everybody's had that experience of being, every call you make all the green lights, you think of somebody and they reach out to you. You've had that experience. That's that's the beginning of safety. Oh, I've had that experience before. I know it exists. So we begin to remember. We begin to remember those moments when we felt safe, because that thing that we're looking for, alignment and balance and harmony and flow, we've had that experience. So we can begin anchoring in that safety, and then we can begin to trust. We can begin to trust. Well, it's happened before. I know it can happen again. I know it's possible. I'm trusting. And finally, once we build that muscle of trust, like maybe you start consciously becoming aware of alignment rather than pressure, alignment rather than forcing, and you start to experience, oh, wow, I've had the experience of this is true. Like, I don't have to force things. I don't have to reach out and try and make things happen. Like, things come to me. Oh, now you're building your trust. And then finally, right, finally we can surrender fully to this presence and say, oh, okay, I don't have to do any of that. But you can't just go there. You have to build safety, trust, surrender. We have to build the muscle. We have to build the muscle that says, I can do this. You don't go to the gym and bench 400 pounds right off. You got to build up to it. So I got to build up to surrender. I got to build up my safety, my sense of safety. And I got to build up my sense of trust by experimenting and working and feeling that, through trial and error, right? We start to learn, oh, this is how I can how I can bring myself into alignment. And as we have more and more of those experiences, we finally, with such a deep level of trust, can fully surrender and allow the presence of God, the presence of life with a capital L, the presence of love, the presence of beauty, the presence of intelligence, the presence of creativity, the presence of joy, the presence of harmony, balance, and order, the presence of power, the presence of opulence, of thriving success and economic well-being. All of those, we can allow them. They just come. We're aligned with it. So This is, let's see, Dorota says detachment and magnetism. Woo, I like that. I'm a magnet. I'm a magnet. Everything comes to me. I attract it. I love that. Yes. Beautiful. Well, I think this is our talk for today. I'm so grateful and so thankful to be with you all. Thank you for checking in. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week for Walking the Path at this same time. And I'll see you at Rythmia March 8th for my guest speaker week. And I'm knowing that you are walking your own royal road, your own royal path, and right where you are, the presence of God is in its fullness, and everything is unfolding in absolute divine perfection in your life. And so it is. Amen. Woohoo! Let's see. So I was in your class back in October in Rythmia. Oh, thank you, brother or sister. I can't see from here, but thank you. All right, everybody.